Alright, we're back. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney. We are ready for episode 3, The Adventure of the Runaway Room. I don't know who's running away or why the room is running away, but they better go catch it. Oh, wait. I should probably continue. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why I did all that. Let's continue. I was trying to remember what the name of the case is, but I did not know selecting it from there makes you choose which part you want to start. That was weird. But let's do it. The Adventure of the Runaway Room. You'll see why it's a runaway room. Gotcha. Byron, I'm very sorry for what happened, but if this stream helps you out in any way, then I'm glad for that. I'm just waiting for my tea to cool down so I can start drinking it. It's a very tasty tea. The tea is very tasty. Let's see.
None could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this.
My Twitch channel is not letting you follow me, and you was following me from the beginning. You didn't have to highlight your message, and that's pretty odd. Hold on, let me see what's going on.
Once said of the incident,
It's not working.
that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude.
Oh, wait a second. Alright, Sidetricks, try now. I don't know what's going on, though. Try now? Hold on, something's going on. Hold on, chat. Hold on, chat. Something weird is going on, because when I checked over, yeah. So for some reason a while ago, I lost a number of followers, and a lot of them, and I think they were supposed to like remove the bots and whatnot, but I think some actual viewers got removed as well. So when I checked out Sidetricks, apparently he was blocked. He was blocked when that happened. It told me to unblock him, and I'm like, wait, unblock? Hold on, let me try. What is going on? Hold on, I gotta see my block list. So I'll do this, yeah. Maybe if I do that, will it fix that? Hold on, this will take a second. Because maybe if I do all... You know what? How about that? Yeah, I don't know why it started blocking people. I don't know why people were getting blocked. That I don't understand why. So hopefully that should be it, everybody. No, you didn't do anything wrong. It's just that there was a big bot issue, and I think it's still going on today. It's just that recently, for some reason, people were removed. I didn't do anything to remove them. I think it was just like, oh yeah, probably some glitch or something happened. I did lose a lot of people, but a lot of them were bots because I got botted follows because of the hate raids going on. So I do apologize for that. I don't know how you ended up getting unfollowed and getting blocked. You did nothing wrong. None of these people did anything wrong except for the ones causing the hate raids. But okay. So I checked again, and it seemed like a lot of people who do check out the channel ended up getting blocked. I don't know why. That's just weird, though. I really hope that those people are not mad, but hopefully if they ever find me again, I hope everything will be all right. So let's continue back. Let's not skip. Let's continue it.
Amazing.
So I guess we made it to London now.
Railway station or not, I've
Look at me go. Look. Holy heck, I got the drip going on right now.
And look at all the steam locomotives.
Naruhodo's got the drip. Like, look at him go.
This country is incredible.
All's well that ends well, right? And the town's on fire, I know. This place looks great though, but who's going to end up dead? Someone has to end up dead, as usual, right? Look at the horses. I love like the cape coat he has. I don't know what is it, but I love capes. Capes are amazing.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
Oh, can you take me back home?
In that case, the Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure.
Cloak, that's the word. Thank you, Citrix. It's a cloak. I'm like, what?
Suppose you're visiting
Cloak.
students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy.
Although I'm surprised you can still chat even though all of that happened.
Welcome.
I guess you were just blocked from following. I don't know how or why, but good to have you back, Citrix. Good to have you back. A toast to that with this hot tea. That's hot. Wait, why were the birds flying inside the court? So are we just starting the thing? British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice. Wait, office? This is an office. Holy flip. Yeah, I'm in shock as well. What an incredible place. It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. So down to business, did we all watch the Nintendo Direct? No, I hate Nintendo. What are you talking about? This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress. But no, I loved it. There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. But they've only been built in a few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? By the way, chat, can I get an audio check? How's the audio? La, ma. 10 out of 10 for me because we got Kirby. We're getting Kirby. Can't wait for Kirby. I love it. I want more. I want the Kirby game already. It's the Kirby game I've been waiting for. Also, Citrix, if you haven't seen it, there is a reaction video on my YouTube channel if you want to check that out, though. A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from. It's certainly unfamiliar. But I think there's more to the difference than just construction materials. There's a lot of gears. What is this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice's office in Autopsy in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. The Lord Chief Justice. Which channel? The Pixels by Night channel? Unless you meant the main or the second channel, the main channel. We had instructions to report here at this time. If circumstances were different, we were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan. But Kazuma can't. Cause Kazuma's Kazu dead. No. So instead, we are here in a different capacity. As envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Yes. And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done. You just beat this chapter in the game, congrats to you. It did take me a while to get back into this game because, you know, I was taking a break and all that, but at least I took a break after the second episode was done. Imagine me taking a break and then it's like 1 month later, oh, what happened in the game? Just like that. So we'd have to return to Japan. If we want to remain here in Great Britain, I have to take Kazuma's place as the law student selected for the study tour. And that's the tea. Oh, that is hot. All right, if I ask for help, all right? If I ask for help, I think I got this. Yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer. Oh yeah, CB, you haven't been here in a couple of days, have you? You haven't seen me stream before. The tea came back a couple of days ago. You missed the return of the tea. You didn't know that I'm trying out a new tea, which is a replacement for coffee, so it's a tea with caffeine, which should help perk me right up from a long day of video stuff. Which is what I've been studying for. Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. But CB, I know who you were watching. So, here's my question to you. Was it a good stream? Was it a good P5 finale stream that you just saw? As I stare intently into the camera. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London. I hope I'm up to scratch. I hope I'm up to scratching myself. Ah, good morning. Sorry for keeping ya. So who is this chief? Whoa. He has that menacing look right there. Oh, I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies. Oh, no, don't mention it. We're never happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do, is what I always say. How fortunate. So, introductions. I am Male Strongheart. Male Strongheart. Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. And I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Come on, Mr. Naruhodo, don't be a mouse. Oh, you read my mind. It's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naruhodo. Welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Ah, yes, thank you. Something about this guy just screams do not trust for some reason. I don't know what you mean. Everything about him says he's trustworthy, down to that lovely ascot he has that reminds me of, you know, Von Karma. The face that says, I will literally kill you if you even breathe in my space. And the hair that says, I paid $500 for this haircut. Everything seems fine, though. Oh, wait, hold on. He's a new guy, which means I gotta do the initiation. Oh, wait. I don't have my pin. What happened to my student pin? But I have Kazuya's armband? I took his armband. The lawyer's name is embroidered on the inside here, look. Kazuma Sogi. This was his band, of course. He had his heart set on the study tour in Great Britain. I'm sure he would have found the truth he longed for here. But he lost his life before he even had the chance to see the place. I have such a strong sense of his hopes and dreams when I look at this armband, though. Aw, rip. Rip to him. These are the scales of justice. They're a symbol of the defense, aren't they? Yes, that's right. Oh yeah, Grant. Never forget Grant. Big ol' orange Grant guy, the one that claps a lot. The one that goes doo 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 doo. The scales are a symbol of fairness to show that all are treated equally in the eyes of the law, and they're a warning to those who enter the courtroom without an impartial mind. But if they're the mark of the defense, it would be more auspicious if they were weighting more heavily on the not guilty side, I think. Very impartial, I'm sure. So now we have his armband. I guess I threw away the student pin. Lord Strongheart, may I show you this? To accept this item, issue a receipt, examine it thoroughly, and make a formal statement of my findings. Would require something in the region of 24 seconds of my time. Sorry? Does the item warrant 24 seconds of my time, Mr. Naruhodo? Let's leave it for now. I mean, I'm pretty sure this whole conversation took 24 seconds. It took longer than 24 seconds. Hold on, I gotta drink the tea before it starts getting cold, you know? Because this tea is hot. This must be the Lord Chief Justice's desk. I believe it's made of marble. It looks more like an over-the-top tombstone that's toppled over to me. I think that's your fanciful imagination at work again, Mr. Naruhodo. It feels like everything that's normally made of wood and paper at home is made of bricks and stone here. And then you go to America, everything's gold and platinum, of course. Everything's gotta be one-upped, right? I know, that's why this place feels so overbearing, I'm sure. But what about this? I want to know about the clocks. Are we inside a clock tower? Is this some kind of clock? Actually, I think we might be inside some sort of giant clock. But those gears are larger than anything you find on a steam locomotive even. It's eerie. Do you think clocks are some sort of hobby of his? This Chief Justice, I mean. Well, boys do enjoy fiddling around with machines, don't they? I'm not sure you could fiddle with cogs that size. And I'm certain you couldn't call him a boy. Still, it's amazing how little noise the cogs make considering how large they are. I mean, if you will look at this realistically, you're sitting at your desk and all you hear is You just hear a bunch of gears going on. Like, you just hear a bunch of gears. That sounds really annoying. There's actually something quite soothing about their precise rhythm. Imagine how much you have to oil just to make sure that works. Just look at all the naughty books packed together on these shelves. They go from floor to ceiling. And they're all books that you couldn't hope to come by in Japan. It's like a dream. Yes, a very bad dream. They're not all about British law either. There are books about the judicial systems of other Western nations. France, Germany, Spain, Holland, Tom Holland. What about Russia? Why do you ask? I was wondering about asking the Lord Chief Justice how you say wardrobe in Russian. What do you think? What a callback though. I think perhaps it's a thought best abandoned. Yeah, we don't want to bring up memories of that case, do we? Do we? Look at these menacing metal giants facing each other across the room. Book. I believe they're suits of armor. Oh, right. I thought maybe they were like the lion dogs we have in Japan guarding shrine gates. No, not at all. In fact, in Europe, suits of armor like these are always possessed by evil spirits, you know? And they roam around in the middle of the night. Really? Is there nothing you don't know, Miss Usato? This book tells me everything I need to know about everything. It's called a fairy tale. If you're ever unsure, just ask. Where did she get that incredible tome? At your local library. That's right, everybody, go to the library or else you'll miss out on fascinating details like suits of armor. Alright, let's go talk about London. So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London? Oh, she stole it from the shelves. Susato. What else does she have in there? You like shake out her arms and they all fall out from her sleeves? Like, she's actually a kleptomaniac. Oh, well, I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city. It's simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh? We had a wonderful view of some London streets from the carriage on the way here from the station. Everything is so London, and everything is so London. I must say I'm almost lost for London. Ah, you say London a lot. You must really love London. I'm glad to hear you like it. So, Chet, do you ever feel like London sometimes? London is very London. You know, when you don't know what to say, you just say, "Oh, New York City. I like the city. I like the new. I like the York. The York is my favorite part of New York City." The city boasts tramways, piped water and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded. Oh yes, astounded is the word. Thanks for saving me there, Susato-san. And everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor. Jolly old London. Yes, there's much excitement about the upcoming Great Exhibition we'll be hosting here in London. Great Exhibition? Oh, cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle. Wow. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop. Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be. Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. Every time he does that, the birds fly out. Is there like some sort of timer every time he does that? London is the center of the modern world. Even if you do say so yourself. The sun will never set on our great empire. It will be sunny every day, all day. No sleep at all. Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times, we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun. Lo Studento. Lord Chief Justice. I think you were expecting a student of law for this study tour, weren't you? Absolutely. Mr. Kazuma Asogi, if my memory serves. That's right. The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard a steamship bound for our shores. That's amazing. The news reached him before we even arrived. My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news? Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person. They tell me you Japanese are a people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that it's true. You Japanese are fine people. I toast to that. Also, I gotta finish this right now before it gets really, cold and disgusting. This tea is actually pretty good. It's a mix of pomegranate, lime, and peppermint. So it's really tasty and really cool on the mouth and the tongue. It's delicious. Ugh. Sometimes when you get to the bottom, you just get a big mouth of peppermint in your face. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means this study tour arrangement can no longer proceed. If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart. What do you have to say, madame? It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal. Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo? This is it then, the moment of truth. Alright, continuing the study tour, let's do it. The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead. Don't misunderstand me, Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead, but without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean. Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country, and that was Mr. Asogi. At least that is what I've been led to understand. Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man. He really has that grand, stance and everything, right? When you look at him, he just has that, watch your words or you die. Mr. Naruhodo, I could ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I gonna say? Richard Wellington likes great big bananas. If there is someone else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer, actually there's no one. It's Miss Usato. It's me. Gotta go with, it's me. It's me. I can do it. Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but... No qualifications, you say, and yet you still claim to be a lawyer. I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And I had Kazuma to help me, and I was the accused. Look, but glossing over the details. I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on board the SS Burya. The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training. But I am the protagonist. I can do years of training in 2 days. I realize it's far too short a period of time, but I just can't go back to Japan, please. I don't want to go back there. I have to do this for my boy Kazuma. Kazuma, Mr. Asogi's journey had only just begun. Coming here on the study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, and I do, but I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance, that's all I'm asking for. Please! Please? 31 seconds. Sorry? Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. It was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say. You get a golf clap. Which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer. So wait, to be a good lawyer to somebody, I have to give a good statement in 30 seconds? Around 30 to 35 seconds basically. So if I do every opening of my stream and video in 30 to 35 seconds, people will freaking love the heck out of me. I got it now. Thank you, Mr. Strongheart. I will type that down immediately. Oh, thanks. So, you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. Huh? So, let me ask you one thing first, sir. Can you fit a clown nose on your nose? Yes? That answer goes both ways. You say you intend to do everything Mr. Asogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path? Well, yes, that's my intention. I see. Am I imagining things? Or did his expression just alter a fraction there all of a sudden? Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you, and if you fail, you die. Really? Test. The worst word to ever come out of this world. Test. So, what form will the test take exactly? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well, defending people, of course. Well said, you pass. So, let's have you defend someone. Oh, wait. That's the test? Oh. Huh? Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as of yet, so this will be welcome news. Today? Straight away? Oh boy. If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you have passed my test. What could be simpler? How do I get myself into these situations? So we're gonna go into a trial right away, you know. My first case in Britain. I'm gonna be a Britain lawyer. I'm gonna be like, oh, jolly good fun, sir, jolly good judge. I'm gonna see the jolly good judge. And I'm gonna see the jolly good prosecutor. Oh wait, I didn't mean to go there. Whoops. Well, could I ask, what sort of trial is it, wow, I keep saying long. Lord Strongheart. I gotta slow down and enunciate. Yes, good question. I remember. It's a murder trial. A murder? An extremely simple case. Long Strongheart. I like that name though. You really can't lose. That's easy to say. But I should mention, just in case, if the defendant is found guilty, he will of course be sentenced to capital punishment. Capital punishment? He'll be put to death? Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exceptions. And before he was sent to the gallows, Goldie Roger... Presumably, you read that much in your short C-based Introduction to British Law? We can't possibly agree to such a test. We will be toying with a man's life. I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable. But you can't do that. Can you? There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose. Just don't lose, forehead. So the defendant may live or die depending on how well I perform in court. If I lose, you'll be hanged. Oh gosh. Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen. He's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. The trial starts now. I'm gonna drag you there. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be? What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? I mean, we pretty much got to, so let's do it! Murder! Alright then. If I have to give you the decision now, my answer is I can't do it. I can't get the words out. 15 seconds. Your decision making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry? You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over. Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance. Well, that's it. The game ends, right? Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry, Miss Usato, but what could I do? It's alright, I understand. You do? It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, but resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it. What are you trying to say, madam? I think what Miss Susato means is that no matter how badly I like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of a experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice. Now I will take my... Wait, Mr. Naruhodo, wait. Wait, follow me. Wait. Oh, what? Was there something else? It's approximately 12 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. But I just said that... I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What? At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. He will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down. But that's awful. But that is the truth. Why does it have to be like this? For the lulz. Please don't expect an answer to every question. But every time I ask a question, I expect the chat to answer. But if they don't answer me, then how am I going to respond? How am I going to continue if they don't answer my question? But they have to answer my question because I asked the question. They have to know. They got to know. The cold, hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. Hey, Ollie Puppy, how you do? And that is you. I'm really his only hope? So, what do you say now, madam? Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, and I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Oh. Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. Was that a fly or a dust? That was fly or dust, I have no idea. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves. Get ready for a murder trial, though. Haha. Literally, just enjoy your time here, enjoy the sights, eat some good food, get ready for the murder trial, meet some good people, enjoy the bars, the scenes, the clubs, yeah, someone's about to die, have fun, sleep well. Just know that somebody's life is in your hands, you just got here, so... bye. He's gone. The Old Bailey. Who's Bailey and why is she old? If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once. So if we miss it, is that it? Do we just lose? By the way, you want to see an armband? Miss Susato, can I just ask you something? Careful. From this position, I can perform a Susato takedown in an instant. I know. Mr. Naruhodo, you heard Lord Strongheart. The trial starts in imminently? I've never saw that word before. I know it's imminent, but imminently? That's new to me. If I need to throw you, I will. You know, you could just say, I think we should hurry to the courtroom. If you need to ask me anything, it had better wait until we're at the Old Bailey. So what if we try to talk right now? Just one conversation. Miss Susato, can I just... Okay, so it's the same thing. It's the same Susato takedown. She will literally yeet me to the carriage if she could. To be honest, I would love to see that. Can we see that happen? Let's see. London's highest criminal court with an illustrious past. The Old Bailey. This is where I'm to take my test and prove my worthiness as a lawyer. Yay. Fantastic. The Old Bailey. Defendant's antechamber. I finally threw you here. We're in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins. I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were gonna rattle loose. Yes, I kept your loose teeth right here in this book. Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed the board? Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in for you. A guinea in it for you? It's one of my favorite lines from the Herlock Sholmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly. Hold on, what does guinea mean in that case? I know there's a guinea pig, but what does guinea mean? There's a guinea in for you. What does that mean? Is that a coin? So I searched that up and I just get guinea pigs. I'm gonna take it that might just mean extra money, I guess. A guinea. I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were gonna die and we had to pay gold for the privilege. Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started. Yes, I suppose there's that. So here's how I imagined it came in. The horse was running so fast, we couldn't stop. So we ran across so many things, and we crashed into the Old Bailey. We didn't stop and perfectly walked in. We just crashed through. Now that's an animation I would love to see. Yes, I suppose there's that. Runaway horse? Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all. The horse turned into a guinea pig. Okay, I can believe that. So that's what she meant there's a guinea in it for you. If you don't get us there in 5 minutes flat, that horse is becoming a guinea. So this is the Old Bailey. Even there's room for defendants to wait in is grand. Now I love to see that. I would love to see a horse-drawn carriage, but the horse is a guinea pig. Just small guinea pig, giant carriage, 3 people. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is gonna crush whoever's about to be sentenced. It feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed. Yes, whoever the man you're to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment. Oh no! Top of the morning. Am I defending Jacksepticeye? Top of the morning to you, madam, sir. Oh my goodness, Jacksepticeye looks great. What are you doing following me here? Things are fair desperate, are they? Sorry? Would you look at those expressionless faces? From the East, are yous? We're from Japan, yes. Ah, Japan is it, right, say no more. So, how much do yous need? No, we're just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat. Barely a penny to your name and all while in strange faraway land. Well, actually... We haven't found a place to stay yet, no. 'Tis grand, 'tis grand. Let me start by giving you 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. 1,000 guineas? He just opened up his coat and it's like 1,000 guinea pigs everywhere. Please, Miss Usato, you don't have to shout. But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo. Whoa! Is that a guinea right there? There's nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I have enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over. Could that much rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Oh. So I can see why. It was on the 3DS. If you played it on the 3DS with the 3D slider on, that would look more impressive. But we just got a coin in our face. Ah, that hit me in the eye. Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it to you, no strings attached. I'll be wanting you to do something for me. Oh? To be honest, it's a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, is for me good self here. I'll be in the dock. Oh. So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me. Nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial's gonna start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up. I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? Bluster and blazes, do yous not know who I am? Me, one of London's biggest names? No, sorry, we only just arrived in the city, yous see? I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park there in the center of London is another beautiful park. Sorry? A park? What? It's called Gilded Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did. An entire park in central London? I dragged it over here with my own body, you see. A city of smiles, that's my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people. Magnus McGilded. Magnus McGilded. I'm trying to see if there's a pun in that name right now, but no, I think it's just Irish. That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. But not they have the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGilded. I know, that is one amazing top hat, though. What is the matter with the London police, I ask ya? Alright, don't pass out. Mr. Naruhodo. Hold on, can I see profiles real quick? He's 48, that makes sense. He's a boomer, gotcha. Rich boomer. Perhaps now will be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath. Good idea. Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best. What was I after saying, you daft idiot? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Well, yes, but I really wasn't offering to just stand up there next to you. Wow, he just switched over like he went. Well, I'm fine now. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry? I know what you're thinking. There's chance of a fella claims to have more money than the queen. But if that's true, why the blazes can he hire the finest lawyer in all of England? Because he did it. That's the only explanation. Well? Well... Exactly. Yes, exactly. What now? Well, like you said, if you have all that money but you don't have anyone to represent you in court, there's no other logical conclusion than you're guilty of the charges. Oh. He's pogging right now. That's a pog face he's doing right now. He's pogging at the fact that I just said that right now. He's like, no one has ever said that to me before. I'm literally pogging at the mouth. Ah, we're all pogging now. Let's do it. Well, you call a spade in the East, so you do. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean any offense. I still can't express myself very well in English, you see. Mick Pog did? Oh, goodness. I don't like that name now. And I'm never sure what's acceptable to say and what isn't, so... Is that so? Because you sounded fluid enough when you were telling me what a blackguard I must be. I'm terribly sorry. I can't say that I blame you for thinking it, fella. I don't know what you think about the what do you think about the accent, chat? Too bad, too stinky, too smelly, the accent not accenty enough. I can't copy Jacksepticeye's accent, even though he literally said top of the morning to you laddies. Top of the morning to you laddies, it's me, Jacksepticeye. Also, because my voice is a bit shot from last night's stream, and also I was watching a lot of stuff with my friends last night, so my voice is not 100% right now. I think it's more like 85 today. So it's like I can't go like top of the morning to... Oh wait, I can. Oh wait, I can whoa. Never mind. It is a little strange, to be honest. Why you don't have a lawyer, I mean. That would be the fault of the Reaper. Wait, sorry, did he say Reaper? From Persona? Aye, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Barak von Zeeks. He's the prosecutor. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? When Van Zeek stands for the prosecution, they call the accused as sacrificial lambs. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. What? So it's reached a desperate situation where there's no one willing to stand in defense against the fella at all. You could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey. I think I'm going a bit too Irish there, but it might work. It could work. Goodness, Lord Barak von Zeeks. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then. Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed. Cursed? What on earth? The defendant is summoned and his counsel. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial is about to begin. His counsel? That would be me. Oh, 'tis time. Well then, fella, don't let me down. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened. Until you showed your face here, I made up my mind, so I had. Sorry? I decided I had to defend myself in there. How would that have worked? But then you made an appearance as student in law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident, I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please. Please, please, please. I literally know nothing about the case or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him. This is gonna be one interesting case, chat. It's gonna be one interesting case, it is indeed. Mr. Naruhodo, the man has no one. He ought to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, something that Kazuma would never have allowed to happen. Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you will lose your right to stand. I'll be right there. Oh, things are about to begin. It's happening then. It's happening. My first trial in a British court. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma, because I have no idea how I'm going to manage this. In a way, if Kazuma freaking shows up as a spirit, like how Mia Fey does it, I'm gonna flip and scream chat. He better not show up as a spirit. He better not be like, I'm Kazuma Fey. Oh, we got flames now. What's with the flames near the judge? I like it. Oh, hello, council team. So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. And I got Kazuma's armband on. Let's go. The centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes, what? Oh, I'm nervous. Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. I know, but I just can't help it. Judgy. Wait, that's him. Whoa. Judgy got hair. The judge has got hair. And his beard is so poofy. I like the beard. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. What voice should work with him? The prosecution is fully prepared. That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Huh? Oh, yes, of course, sorry. But he asked if the defense was ready, and I couldn't be further from ready if I tried. So why does he look like an edgier Edgeworth? It's literally Edgeworth 3.0 right now. Like, it's literally Dark Edgeworth. It's the freaking alternate Edgeworth. It's alternate reality Edgeworth right now. Literally Dark Edgeworth. Those eyes please me. Nipponese. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. Ugh. A cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm shivering with glee. Now, Mr. McGilded. Yes, my lord? You stand accused of murder, a capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Hey, Joker, how you doing? Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? Okay, here we go. They don't like Nippon. They don't like Japanese people, I guess. As I've always said, my lord, it is a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fella is a student from some little island off in the Far East. Is it not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance? I like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. Listen to Mr. McGilded. What a fine gentleman London has in him. Did you hear that he donated £5,000 to the government the other day? Mother, please may we go and play in Gilded Park? It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. That's definitely welcome news. And he certainly has a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded, and most laudable sentiments. How am I? I'm doing alright right now. Just this Sunday went through really quickly. I don't know what happened in the past few hours. All I know is that I woke up and now it's 6 o'clock. Well, now it's 7 and now it's time to stream. So time just flew by. So Yeah, I guess I'm fine. I'm ready for court. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? Oh, let's meet the 6. Yes, my lord. If the task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready. At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree. Any criminals here will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me as I hold a weapon that I shouldn't be holding in court. What? Is she just... Do we just skip the... He's drinking and... What is she doing next to him? I feel a chill. Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these mitts for my grandson. Mr. Naruhodo, these people are... The jury, yes. That's something we don't have in Japan yet. That's right, I only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. Oh, she's knitting. So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view. But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict? That I don't know, but... Time goes way too fast. Time does go way too fast. I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses. Yes. I'm really curious more about this Van Zeeks. Oh, here we go. Prosecutor Van Zeeks. My lord. It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the court. I saw a bug. I thought you renounced your fame. I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. So, what brings you back? So chat, what I take it is that Van Zeeks is ultimately liked. Like, you love Van Zeeks. Like, you stan Zeeks. You stan the Zeeks. Is there some change of circumstance of which the court should be aware? I leave that to your imagination, my lord. So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years? Why did he have to choose the day of all days to make a comeback? Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo. As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. We must be the only ones in here who aren't aware. It is written, only Link can defeat Ganon. The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks known in the community as Thrice-Fired Mason. Oh, look at his hat. I like his hat. Sorry, Thrice? Is that 3 rice? He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible. Oh! The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at the time. A dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. He died from old age afterwards. Here's the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard. Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that in the photograph as evidence. I hope you're enjoying the voice acting, the voice acting, chat. A report prepared by the Scotland Yard coroner, it gives the cause of death as internal hemorrhaging as a result of a single stab wound to the abdomen. A photograph of the victim taken on the omnibus. The knife in his abdomen is clearly visible, but his face is partly obscured from view by an old, crooked hat. And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well. And these are... Good lord! Is that blood, counsel? Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. What? Oh, Mr. McGilded's gloves had blood on them? Oh boy. Imagine Van Zeeks go, the autopsy report is outdated, my lord. And then salary cutting dance to the gumshoe of this generation. Is there a gumshoe of this generation? There better be a gumshoe of this generation, unless we already met the gumshoe of this generation, but I hope we meet the gumshoe of this generation. That's a lot of gumshoe I just said in a couple of seconds, didn't I? That was way too fast, wasn't it? Oh, goodness. Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well. The leather gloves the defendant was wearing at the time of the incident. There was a blood stain. How did I get into this? Hold on, let me get into these real quick. Look at these gloves, though. I wonder if I look in there really, if you look in there deep enough, chat, you might see your future. Look deep into those gloves right there. Oh yeah, so the thing is, I mumble a lot when I moving along. This is definitely blood, isn't it? Not the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London. Well, nothing will come of grumbling now. No, by the way, is Mr. McGilded right-handed? Yes, I believe so. He was toying with a coin in his right hand a little earlier. Ah, pity, if only he had been left-handed. Yeah, lefties rule. The lefties rule, let's go. I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating, really. Yay, lefties, let's go. I'm backed into a corner before I even started. Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2? Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. Wait, what's his first name, though? Oh, that's just his name, Thrice-Fired Mason. Wait, he's 32? Huh. To be honest, I was expecting like a younger prosecutor because, every single time there's always a young, new prosecutor out, but he's been out for 5 years, so the last time he did prosecution was when he was 27. What happened 5 years ago that made him stop? The other was the accused, Magnus McGilded. And they're all shocked, well, except the typewriter, the lady, and the guy drinking. Well, rather damning circumstances to say the least. Defendant, what say you? I did it. Well, of course, I have no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGilded. To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness and I always succumb to it. Are you claiming to have been asleep? Funny, I bought this on the Switch now. Yep, it plays well on the Switch. What, am I gonna buy it for PC? Because if I didn't get this on Twitch, I couldn't do this. One reason I like this is because I can just do this the whole time. You think the Switch is still cool now? The Switch is freaking amazing if I can do this. Where's this on the PlayStation? 'Tis the motion of the couch, my lord. Lightening it so it is. And when I open my eyes again, 'twas a desperate sight before me. The body of a man I never laid eyes on before in me life. The chin on him? Here comes the crimson chin. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. I went up there and I went like this, and then he died, and I was laughing. So the blood got onto the gloves then after the man had been killed. Unfortunately, that statement of the driver's is only the beginning. What? That's not all of it? There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. The old lady stopped knitting. When she stops knitting, it's serious, chat. When she stops knitting, it's serious. Order! When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage, and there were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused. Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we will hear testimony from these witnesses first of all. Your wish is my command. He is so, like, animated. The way he just moves, like, everything has to be, like, extra with him. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once. Here we go. Oh, okay. There is something flying around here. Witnesses, your names and occupations. He gets extra Oh, I can't wait to see how extra he gets. And I thought what I'm already doing is, like, extra enough. My name is... Everyone calls me Beppo. I drive an omnibus in the East End. Bruce Fairplay. I'm a banker in the city. My name's First. Beppy? Is not Beppo or Beppy? My name is First. Ladies First? Really? That's his name? Ladies First? I make hats for gents. What kind of a pun is that? No, it's Beppo. Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witnessed the aforementioned incident. Oh, Beppy the Clown. I get what you mean from Mugman. Not Cuphead, Mugman, because Mugman's best boy, so you better understand that. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Quite right. Yes, sir, that's right, sir. Very well then, let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw. Alright, let's do it. Witness testimony. I need water. I gotta remember to hydrate, otherwise my throat is going to dehydrate. It was the last bus of the evening, so I had few customers. I remember it well. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts. That's right, he stabbed him. I screamed, I did, couldn't help it. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus. Wait, what? He has a whip? No, wait, is that a crop? And then I saw it too. Interesting. Unambiguous testimony, I must say. Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes. I'd like to ask a question, if I may. Yes, counsel. Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Why not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it? As have been clearly stated from the outset, yes. Well, in that case, how could those two witnesses possibly have seen what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage. Wait. How quaint. I read that civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own. But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Huh? Tell me, my Nipponese friend, have you even traveled in an omnibus? Well, no. We, only arrived in London this morning. No matter. I've arranged for us all to see for ourselves. The actual scene of the crime, that is. Wait, what do you mean? The actual... Wait, what? How? Wait, what? Wait, exactly how? A carriage is designed to be moved after all. Presumably you understand that much. Yes. So we're actually going to see the thing in the court right now. The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place is here today in this very building. Here? What? The entire carriage? Bailiff. Bring forth the stricken omnibus. As I be extra every time. Extra, extra. It's just there. They really just brought in the freaking cart. It's just there. It's just, is it a new witness now? Carriage, what were you doing on the night of the murder? What were you doing? Tell me everything, Carriage. Honk. So that's an omnibus. The omnibus. I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. Ah, the drawing. 4 passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city's architecture and sight are to be had from the top of an omnibus. And I should point now to our foreign guest. Oh, that there is a skylight in the roof allowing a view of the interior from the seats above. Ah, skylight. Oh! The penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on this omnibus when the murder took place. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight. Ugh, that makes perfect sense. Well, counsel, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom. Oh wait, it's a toupee, it fell off. It almost fell off. There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. Cool. That is the prosecution's wish. Very well, I see no reason why not. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence. Cool, we got the carriage now. I'm just gonna put that in my pocket. I can't believe it, the entire crime scene entered as evidence? Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary. Examine the outside of the bus? Oh yeah. Alright, so yeah, let's examine it. I'll just walk out and just do. Let's see, what can I. What? You're joking me. Why is that there? That is way. Wow. Imagine Phoenix's Phoenix's parents are like, so we saw this lovely omnibus in Great Britain, Phoenix. We named you after a carriage. Freaking Phoenix Wright was named after a carriage. A freaking carriage company. Oh my goodness. Jeez, that's amazing. Now we got Phoenix Wright lore. I can't believe we just got Phoenix Wright lore right there. That's amazing. Oh goodness. Are we gonna open it? Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we? Oh, the scene of a murder. It's horrible. Oh, I like this. Ooh, wait, we're inside now. We are inside the carriage. Ah, that's a poster for the great exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition. Ooh, the Crystal Tower. It's under construction already, I believe. People all over London must be fizzing with excitement at the prospect of such a grand event. Oh, the cushions look soft. This seat has a handle, it seems. Oh, what's inside? This looks like all sorts of equipment that might be needed to keep the omnibus running. Feeding tubs, tools to repair wheels, blankets, horseshoeing tools. So it's a storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things, I see, it seems. There doesn't seem to be any space for passengers to stow their luggage, that's for sure. Well, I don't imagine it will be very convenient for that purpose anyway. And the blood. Do I really want to look at the blood? Yeah, let's look at the blood. It's blood. That's blood that's soaked into the seat. The victims, obviously. Yes, and that seat will be clearly visible from the roof deck. Would you really stab someone in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder? Well, it was after dark. And there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight. Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. Searching everything in this omnibus, every little detail, okay. Ah, that's a poster for the great exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. It's just... So they both talk about the Crystal Tower? Okay. It's quite a large skylight, isn't it? Yeah, it's quite large enough to afford a good view into the cabin from the roof deck. And there doesn't appear to be a handle or a catch of any description, so I suppose it can't be opened from inside the cabin at least. Every single part, so I don't miss a thing. Okay, I gotcha. I think I checked everything inside. Let me get the flip out of here. Have you seen enough? Let's step back outside then. Everybody outside, like, everybody in the courtroom's like, are you done yet? Or, like, can we continue on with the court, please? Like, you're taking too long, everybody. It's just a boss. What's this? I can't find anything out of place. Oh, wait, it's flashing here. There we go. So this is the roof deck of the omnibus. Oh, you must have a wonderful view of London streets from up here. So people sit all the way up here on bitter winter nights with the cold air rushing past them. And they have to pay money to do so? Ugh, I can't imagine how cold it must feel. That just made me think of something horrible. Can you imagine being dragged around the city in the freezing cold as a punishment? Perhaps that is the real price you pay to stay out late. That must stink though. That must stink so much. I love the Phoenix Wright Omnibus. The Phoenix Wright Omnibus is the best. By the way, chat, I'm gonna take a quick restroom break. Gonna do that. Gonna get some more water and whatnot. So I will be right back in about 2 to 3 minutes. Take this time to stretch, get what you need. I will be right back. I appreciate your patience, everybody. All right, we're back. Thank you for being patient, everybody. How's everybody doing so far? Oh, we're back with more Phoenix Wright. Great Ace Attorney. I'm talking about Phoenix Wright, the Omnibus. How's everybody doing? Hello, Pixel Dog. Welcome to the chat. How are you doing? So we're in the middle of an omnibus trial.
Where somebody has died on an omnibus. Alright. I can help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. Let's continue proceedings then, your cross-examination, counsel.
Pray don't accept this Nipponi straight to understand the intricacies of a British court's cross-examination rights. Ah man, I'm losing a lot of the hair. So what's up with the bus? Phoenix Wright was named after a bus company as shown here. So we have a victim who died in this bus over here. I just arrived to London and I got to do a test before I'm a fully certified lawyer. So story short, this guy died. He's the victim, and this is who I'm defending, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Alright. My first cross-examination in a British court. Oh. Focus, Ryunosuke. Focus. Alright, let's do it. Cross-examination. It was the last bus of the evening, so I had few customers. I remember it well. Oh, we gotta hold it. Yes, I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it? Oh, yes, that's right, sir, yes. Ever so cold. It was, sir. Freezing, in fact. And you had 4 passengers on board at the time, is that correct? Yes, that's right, sir. Not all traveling in the same parts of the bus, of course, so no. So I can look around, but nobody's acting up yet. And there were no other passengers when the incident took place? No one alighted, for example? You're quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that, no. None. So nobody fled the scene of the crime, then? I have to say, the boss insists on it running, he does, every evening, the last bus of the day. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yeah, sorry to say. What do you mean by that? Well, what with it being so cold and everything and only making 20 pence on the run, you see? Yes, I spend that much at the pub on the way home just trying to warm up again. So this guy literally freezes every night. I feel sorry for Beppo. I feel sorry for poor Beppo. The money he makes, he just spends it like immediately trying to warm up. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. And you saw them through the skylight in the roof of the carriage. That's right, when you sit up on the top deck, the window's right there at your feet. Stop, alright, 5 Rand Joker, thanks for coming to the stream. Really convenient that you both left at the same time. Alright then. There was a lamp on inside, so I had a pretty good view. Ah, the 2 of them were wearing hats and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. But there is not a shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGilded. How can you be so sure? Well, how can I put it politely? Mr. McGilded is a gentleman of rather small stature. I couldn't have mistaken him for anyone else. Let's not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilded. There is no room for doubt here. I really wish there was. Then out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts.
Hold it!
Guts. You actually saw the exact moment it happened. Didn't I already testify to that? Or a fair dinkum where hardworking city bankers not considered trustworthy these days? Dinkum? Oh, no, I didn't mean that. This is no good. I've really got his back up. Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little more detail of that. My lord. Juror number 3, what's the meaning of this? My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up. Made up about what? I don't like the stinking rich. Never have. They're always up to something or other that they shouldn't be. Every single one of them. What? And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception? Well, he can't fool me. What's with the fuck? Wait, what's go- Wait a minute. So depending on how well I do here, just shows if it's gonna be guilty or not guilty? That was them casting their votes? We just started. There's no point in wasting time listening to any more of this. That's my opinion on the matter anyway. That is precisely what I was about to say. Wait, what? As the foreman of the jury, it's my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors. You're joking. What the? What is happening here? Book. Let me see. This book I stole says that it seems that that's how the members of the jury gives their verdicts. With fire? Apparently, yes. White for innocent and black for guilty. As the 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case, one by one, they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago. So if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean... Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen. Now I'm even more worried than I was before. Testimony, I saw him do it. Jury. So you have chosen death. Like, literally, so the trial can start and everybody can be like, you know what? Guilty, 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 guilty. And that's it. Case is over. They're like, can we go home now? Cool. Who wants Tostitos pizza rolls? Very well, the court acknowledges the change in the jury's stance. Oh yeah, and it shows right there too. I like the detail right there that the scales are also changed there too. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. This is a nightmare. I just did a whole, I pressed him and apparently that made things worse. That's right, he stabbed him. I screamed, I couldn't help it. I went, aye. He stabbed him, you say? And you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you? Yes, that's right, sir. I was on the roof seats. I remember seeing the little gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed. I've been thinking about a new hat design, you see, so I was just gazing absent-mindedly around. But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right from his belly, that huge great knife. A grim sight indeed. Oh, that didn't help me at all. Oh no, she's cleaning. The jury looks like they're even more oh my goodness. Gee, she was mashing those keys. That appears to have made everyone even more dubious that Mr. McGilded is telling the truth. If only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions. Mr. First. Oh, yes, sir. Is this the knife you saw? Oh, good grief, yes, that's it. The very one, sir. Is that? Yes, counsel. This is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart. That is a blade of considerable size, counsel. It is. And furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar. Please, no. M for Magnus, perhaps? Or McGilded, possibly. Take your pick. It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
Objection!
Oh, but there were M's everywhere. Like, yes, like in Mason.
Objection!
What? That was a different objection right there. This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. No, this weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused. Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, counsel. Alright, the largest knife that was found lodged into the victim's abdomen. Its quality and fancy ornamentation suggest it must be quite valuable. My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption. Ah, juror number 2. Go on. Mr. McGilded is a pillar of society and a gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. Sacrosanct? Hold on. I want to learn what this word means. Sacrosanct. It means someone who is regarded as too important or valuable to be interfered with. So basically, his word is very important. That is what she's trying to say. Well, thank you for listening to Definitions with Pixel. However, those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. Wait, what are you about to do? Dispose of the rubbish! She really did say burn the rich. No. I don't wish to cause offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime. I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-referenced all the facts. As such, I am now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion. Oh my goodness. Not again. This is crazy. Everybody's going guilty. That's 4 out of 6 jury members who proposed a guilty verdict. There are only 2 left. We've had it. Every time I press these witnesses for more info, I just make the situation worse. Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more info. We're still very much in the dark. I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks may well fly. We mustn't give up hope that we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back. But... alright, I'll keep trying. I can't give up. I just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again. But wait, there's one more though. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus, and then I saw it too. What exactly did you see? Oh, well, sir, that would be the passenger, sir. Yes, collapsed on the floor he was. Wait, collapsed on the floor? I thought he was stabbed and was sitting there. And by the passenger, obviously you were referring to the victim, Mr. Mason the brickmaker. And then the other passenger had that knife in his hand like this. By the other passenger, obviously you're referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Well, this hair is in my face, come on. This is what happens when my hair just grows out. It's just right there in front of my eye. What? I can't grab it. Why can I not grab it? It's... oh wait, I think oh, there it is. I'm like, is it like invisible to me or something? I do want to check the knife real quick. That part is the sheath, isn't it? Oh, you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, sorry, yes, I just don't really like blades. Oh, those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist. That's not a blade, that's Kazuma's soul. There's a difference, you know? Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like. Oh, that is bloody. The M. An ornate letter M. Undeniably Mr. Magnus McGilded's initial. And it's beautifully gilded too. It must be very valuable, I should think. What is it? Look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. For Wumbo. I Wumbo, you Wumbo, he, she, we, Wumbo, Wumbo, Wumbawing, Wumbology. A W? Yes, this is one of those, you know, turnabout cases. I'm sure of it. Turnabout, gotcha. I'm afraid I don't know at all, but what I'm sure of is that this is an M. Yeah, M for Mario, not W for Wario, come on. Let's go see the blood. I want to see the blood tip. That looks like a lot of blood. It surely is blood, the victims. An Englishman's blood looks a lot like a Japanese man's blood. He's saying that we all bleed the same. Good. Did you think it wouldn't? Sorry, I thought that Englishmen bleed blue. Sorry, it's just that we just arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust. Yes, I do understand. All that blood, so much blood. And then he plunged it down like this, stabbing the other passenger in the belly. What? In the belly? My lord, I wish to speak. Yes, juror number 5. Do I take it that you too? As the master of the London Guild of Coachmen, the idea of a murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is utterly abhorrent to me. It wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself. But he's gonna do it anyway, but I've heard enough now. The horse has bolted, as they say. No, please, wait, just keep an open mind. Gee up now, Silver Blaze, the finish is in sight. Great. Ooh, boy. Beppo is a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says. Oh, thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir. Can I have a raise? No. This is too unkind, sir. Which now means that 5 jurors agree to condemn this man. There's only one left, and that's the sweet old granny. Oh boy. Can these decisions be, reversed in any way or no? This is crazy. Madam Juror number 6?
Yes, dear. What can I do for you?
You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand.
Oh, yes, I certainly have. Still got my hearing, you know.
Then pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaning?
Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. I always go to the park at around this time of day and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting. There is a lovely little park just near where I live. Gilded Park, it's called. The gentleman donated it to the city, to put a smile on Londoners' face, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have aided in him to take another man's life.
He is always doing wonderful things for the city. That's right, a man like that wouldn't stab someone, surely. Mother, may we go to the Gilded Public Library later and borrow some more books? What hasn't he donated? Oh yes, can we go to the Gilded Public Bathroom too? Can we go to the Gilded McDonald's? The Gilded McDonald's. How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know? What kind of a man Magnus McGilded really is? What kind of a man is he? The philanthropist Magnus McGilded has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly. That dude is Mr. London? He's Mr. Worldwide, let me tell you. Freaking Pitbull better watch out. But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir, and one with the very darkest of souls. What?
Stone the crows.
McGilded lends money at extortionate rates of interest, so his victims have no hope of repaying him. When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He is a vulture that preys on the weak.
I've never heard of any mention of that before.
Your faculties haven't deserted you, I'm sure, madam. So has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own? What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service? You're not saying that the victim, a poor brickmaker, had next to nothing to his name save considerable financial liability. It will come as no surprise that his creditor was the accused, Magnus McGilded. But let it also be known that the very day Mr. Mason was killed was the final repayment date for his debts. Good gracious! The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debts. And in the end, this pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him, his life. By the merciless philanthropist pretender, Magnus McGilded. I don't believe it. If I might add something briefly, Miss Usato? You claim that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded, but where's the evidence to support your claim? He's like, I got it right here, sweet cakes. Wait, he's drinking. Wait, where did the bottle come from? Oh, okay, Godot. Okay, old Godot. Forget coffee. We're now drinking vine. Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in a court of law. There it is. Lord Van Zeek's hallowed chalice. Is that a thing that usually happens here? It's the chalice. Oh my goodness, he's gonna take a drink. He takes a drink and all the ladies start fainting and all the men start dying. How can this be considered acceptable? But I find myself in an unexpectedly good humor. I have heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage, but I didn't expect to experience it myself. As judicial assistant to the defense, I am simply doing my job. What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all monies loaned by the accused. You will find the victim's name clearly recorded inside. Oh boy. Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. A toast. And pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice in a toast to the enigmatic East at the same time. A marvelous toast, Counsel. I will gladly accept this new evidence. Let's see, the victim who owed 20 guineas. 20 guinea pigs? Yes, 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum. And the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense. That poor lady, she's like, I go to this park every day, but it's owned by a bad man, no. Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes. Regrettably, madam, that is the modus operandi of the accused. And it's such a pretty little park, too. What a scoundrel. Oh, no. The way this... Still... Maybe it's all for the best. Wait a minute! Let's think about this a little more before... I don't stand for nonsense. Wait, does that mean it's over? What? That was it. The last juror's decision. Wow. What are you trying to do, Susato? According to this encyclopedia of British law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here. The final verdict. It's over then. Oh. There's a footnote though. A footnote? However, the defense... What? All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case. Oh, holy heck. Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision. According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial. By delivering my final verdict, I trust there are no objections. Do we... Miss Usato, just tell me one thing. Oh, yes? You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law. However, the defense... What did it say next? Oh, yes, of course. One moment, I have to go back there again. I don't know why I closed the book. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point? A summation examination? Wow, I brought myself back up like a zombie. A summation examination?
Objection!
A summation examination? From which century has that tome you have there been resurrected? Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention. It's a relic, long forgotten, and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck. Oh. What even is a Misusato? This so-called summation examination. Oh, one moment while I open it up again. You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails? Typical Nipponese. Alright, Mr. Naruhodo, I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure, we will be able to appeal to the members of the jury. To do what exactly? Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decisions. And it says here that if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed. Make them reverse their decisions. Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefits really, so it rather fell out of use. I wonder why. Because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age. Still, I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Might as well try. Either way, we win or we lose, but a summation examination, our last possible option. Do we assert our right to carry it out, or admit defeat? We're asserting our right. What do you mean? Oh, there's that bang. The defense wishes to assert its rights to a summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
I love that objection. London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examination are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection!
But if it's alright, it's alright. I believe it could prove vital in this trial. The defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination. This is madness. Madness. This is the great ace attorney. Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? I'm not. There was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so. All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached a decision. On what grounds? You must all justify your decisions and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty. Well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot. This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before. I don't really hold with all this justifying lark. That seems to have thrown the jurors off. It seems none of them have experienced this before. Alright then, the summation examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, just maybe. It might be the opportunity we've been looking for to turn this trial around. So be it then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant, Magnus McGuilty, guilty. Magnus McGuilty, guilty of this guilty. Magnus McGuilty. I love that name, Magnus McGuilty. Judicial findings. Alright. It's alright, new mechanic. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. I have simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years. Wait, 4 pence? But wasn't the total 20 pence? The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It beggars belief. There's something, wait, hold on. 4 times 4 is 16, not 20. I know my math. I may not be good at law, but I'm good at math. Sometimes. If you give me calculus stuff, my brain will explode. I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now. Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments though, do they? Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language. Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, we're gonna learn more of the rules? According to my book, that's not quite how it works. Oh? I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant. Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says. But then, they've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, they could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become. Then what on earth am I supposed to do? Oh dear, I'm just citing what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't yell at me. Make them fight. Fight. Kill, crush. Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work then? You can cool their hot hearts with a nice icy song. Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your argument. What do you mean? Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together. And that's the way to break them down, you mean? Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other. Oh, we actually make them fight. I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then. This is similar to our regular cross-examination. Oh, yes, I suppose you're right. All right. Who's ready to make them kill each other? We're gonna watch the adults fight. All right, find contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. All right, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. Oh, double slap right there. Like a Pokemon. I go all the way to 5 slaps, but this time it was only 2 slaps. I have to pull this off. Can we start proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Oh, I'm standing. Well, I'm always standing, but I get to see more of his boite. The defense's rebuttal. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. So let's see. Hit? Oh. This is that. Hold on, just to be sure, I'm gonna save. This is kind of crazy right now. I'm gonna make another verify. Why not? This is pretty much all new. I'd rather be careful right now. So there was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. Certainly, the testimonies we've heard suggest the victim and Mr. McGilded were alone inside the carriage. Precisely my point. But could there be some other explanation? Something we haven't considered yet? Such as... well... Perhaps that's something we could, all work out together now? Now listen here, maybe you don't know how things work around here because you're from foreign climes. But we're here to form our opinions as individuals, and I have. Ugh. Oh dear, he doesn't appear to be in the mood to consider an alternative point of view, does he? No, I'm gonna have to pit the jurors against one another, like Susato-san said. Finding contradictions in these 6 people's assertions is the only way I'm gonna succeed. Okay, so pressing's not really gonna work. So, wait. I have an issue here. So, she says I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. Then, him. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years. So, 4 passengers times 4 pence equals 16, not 20. So, hit. Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other. They do. Explain yourself, counsel. Me? Oh dear, what have I said? I swore in Silver Blaze's maiden name. I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. According to the group testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares. Quite right, I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me. And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That it is, a fair and convenient single price. Is no one realizing what's going on? Nobody's realizing that the math doesn't add up. Do these people not know math? But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man, why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication, it would be 16 pence. Which means there's another person. Yeah, exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. Your Honor, this jury is incompetent. I rest my case. We need smarter people. By 4 pence, in fact, or precisely 1 person's fare. 1 person's fare? Yes, in other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about. Good gracious. I'm liking these new camera angles and everything, and like, court just feels a little more lively, especially since we see Naruhodo-san walking around, doing and all these camera angles. This can't be right. The coachmen of the guild are good, honest men. One and all, trustworthiness is our watchword. The figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy. I beg your pardon? Hey, don't actually fight each other. Okay, fight each other. Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride the omnibus. So, alright, then how do I make it so this miserable trial doesn't end? Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire onto the innocent side of the set of scales. Now hold your horses there, coachman. We were all in agreement. Why do you have to go and... Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo! Oh, okay, so that's what the... I was wondering what the colors behind them were doing. So, it's not the fire that changes or anything, it's the back of the seat. I was wondering, like, how can you tell if it's black or white? It's the back of the seat. Oh, this is all very irritating. Begging your pardon, sir, I'm going to do the same. Ah. Now that's a nice touch. It's working though, yay. For the love of Mike, not you as well. A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters. Oh, really? I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo, you did it! If we can manage to change 2 more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue. 2 more? Actually, there is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions. Then that's where you must strike next. So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show there's another contradiction in their assertions. Exactly. You can do it. You know what? I actually like this mechanic. It's actually a very fun mechanic. Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavily on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination. Let's do it. I'm changing my leaning to innocent. I should like to hear what the slipshod bookkeeper has to say for himself. Huh. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to be him. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. I have simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. Beppo, this trial has to continue so I can get to the bottom of this corruption. Not guilty, I say. The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It beggars belief. Poor man on the floor. Wait. Next to him? Stabbed him on the floor. Hold on, I think I got another idea, but I'm gonna save just in case. I think I know who to pit next. So one says next to him, and the other one says on the floor. So he stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say, absolutely brazen. The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. But the thing is, how can you stab him on the floor because if you fall on the floor, he'll be on his back.
Objection!
So there's another pit. These 2 statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain, counsel, post haste. Oh, dearie me, I was only knitting a jumper from my other half. Aww. What is all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? Also, can we get a new jury? We've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3... What? Did you... Oh. It's like he's trying to pull out the master sword or something. Can't you see that I'm busy here? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Wanna test me, do ya? It was like this, stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up, just like the prim banker said. Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony, quite true. Now then, juror number 6.
Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for you, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He was stabbed the poor man after he collapsed onto the floor. The coachman said so.
Now don't move! Take a look at these 2 jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up? And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor? Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions. What?
Oh, bless my stitches. What a muddle.
What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth. Oh. But why? Why the dickens would they lie? Now explain, chat. Why the dickens? Why the dickens would they lie? Dickens. I actually like the word dickens. I should probably say dickens a lot more, shouldn't I? What the dickens is going on here? I don't know that yet, but what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
Lies you say? Oh, dearie me. Hey, I can't abide people telling lies.
Yay! Dwight!
The scales.
I don't believe it. Changing the tides of the scales. Wait! Now here does my fellow jurors. I warned you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, dark jinx. Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What of it if two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events? What of it? Are you an idiot? Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus, and this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor, and then the Shylock stabbed him again, and this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that,
Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why I should take this knife to you? Who are you calling old? Why I should take this needle to you?
Who do you think has a better chance of killing him, juror number 3 or juror number 6? I'm betting on juror number 6. They're ready to kill each other now.
Banned.
But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime? Old lady got... Okay, we gotta see kill... Oh, gotcha. It's out of the question. Because the evidence says that he was stabbed in the stomach. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. What is it, you dark jinx? Come on, out with it. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. Huh? What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job of, putting somebody guilty right away. We just started and as foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction.
Yeah, you're doing it wrong.
So where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me some proof. It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. I'll give you the skinny. I'm gonna slap it on ya. So let's see. It's proven here he was stabbed in the front, not the back though. That's it, the photograph. This clear piece of evidence. Well, Mr. Foreman? Oh wait, was that not it? Do you know what they say about me, young man? They say I've got no powers of persuasion. Oh, I see. I'm sorry to hear that. Dang it. How was that not the right one? It was showing he was stabbed in the stomach. Was it the autopsy report? But we have evidence that clearly contradicts that possibility. Oh, great. How come every time I try to present something, it's like not right or anything? I thought I had it right with that picture. Was it the freaking autopsy report? Yeah, stabbed once in... Okay, it's the autopsy report.
Take that!
Not the photo, but the... Okay, fine. This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen. Only once. Only once? It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen 2 different times. Alright. I concede defeat. Hey. Time to tip the scales. I'm like, wow, oh, I actually did it. What, that actually worked. Oh, wow. Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leading to not guilty. We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won. All right, let's continue. What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir, as I drink this water. No one deceives me. But we had a consensus. I said, shut your trap. I know a lie when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and lick it. And shave every last hair off his head? Please tell me he's a barber? Sure, let's say that. Professional stabber at your service. Well, in a quite remarkable return of events, the defense's Summation Examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate. And the trial must continue.
Yeah.
I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth.
Yay. I'm happy.
So, Lord Von Zeeks, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution if you please. He was just standing there the whole time drinking his vine. I hope he enjoys his vine. Drink it. Okay. I guess not. Oh, is he? What? The the stain, wine, red, glove, why, idiot, stupid, dummy, doofus. What do you mean glass number 1? What do you mean? Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hallowed chalice, it may seem crash to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Von Zeeks. Is it cold in here or is it just me? As your antiquated tome no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination, so I honor the deathly silent and listen to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Oh, he's calling them stupid. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No, and what else will we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Oh. What? Oh, is he actually going serious this time? Bring forth the witnesses once more. Oh, holy heck, is the real battle about to begin now? Witnesses, I trust you heard the summation examination we just had to endure. Oh, yes, sir, that I did, sir. Of course I heard it. Oh, yes, sir, I heard it. You, sir, on the end, the coachman. I believe it's Beppo? Yes, sir, my lord, sir. If it transpires that in your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of a 5th passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir. Oh mio Dio. Is he trying to say, oh my god, but nah, it's oh Dios mío. Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination. Oh boy. Battle time. Yeah. But before we continue, I'm gonna take another restroom break. I'll be back in about a minute or two. Just gonna stretch for a bit. I will BRB. Alright, let's get back to it, shall we? Thank you for being patient, everybody. We're back with more Great Ace Attorney. We're about to see what's going on next with this the witness testimony, various misgivings. Let's go. I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear, but, well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. He fiddled us on the fare, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much. Oh, so they got conned. I tell you, I saw McGildy stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Oh, yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes. Now he thinks? He thinks. Either you know or you don't. Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom 5th passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little consonant. Hold on, I wanna find out the pronunciation of that now. Time to learn new words with Pixel. So, how do you pronounce it?
Cousinage.
Cousinage. Cousinage.
Cousinage.
Cousinage. The practice of deception, trickery. So basically, he tricked them. Cousinage. Alright, so the confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little cousinage. Beppo, explain yourself. The favorite time of the day. New words with Pixel. Yeah. I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster. My eyes have finally opened up to the truth. The guild's fare is 4 pence across the board. You know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare? Oh, it's so cold and the last one of the day is always half empty. You have been dishonest, coachman. So, I don't know why to con people when you should have talked to the boss. We're not having a labor shortage, we're having a wage shortage. Just ask for more money or leave. I'm sorry. You're a disgrace, Beppo, a disgrace. And your selfish actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild. If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week. What? 4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yep, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently. No, that figures. It's math. It's easy math. Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please. We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games. Parlor games? I want to play a parlor game. Absolutely, let's play. I love games. Let's go play a game. Various misgivings. I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear, So there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them the standard 4 pence fare. Back in those days, good paid jobs were only given to aristocrats and nobles. What would I be back then? Would I be a jester? Would I be in the stockades, ready to be sentenced to the gallows? A sloth? What? Wait, what's a sloth anyway? Does anybody know what a sloth is? Is that right? It's impossible to make the last run of the day pay. It was so cold, it was all I could do to stop myself from passing out. I'm getting chillblains, just look. Chillblains? What are these words? What are these words? Chillblains. Chillblains are the painful inflammation of small blood vessels in your skin. Oh. So it's inflamed blood vessels in your skin that are from too much exposure to the cold. So when you're too cold, so basically almost like frostbite. Pretty much close to frostbite, I guess. It was terrible, so I wanted to get myself a pat on the back for keeping the bus running. Ace Attorney out here teaching us new words. Thank you, Capcom. Doesn't a dedicated coachman deserve an extra penny for? He's still saying to this day. You're digging a deeper hole for yourself here. If only there had been a fifth passenger on the omnibus that night, then we would have had another suspect. If only that were the case, but things never go that perfectly here, right? They never do. Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. Does that mean everyone on board that night paid 5 pence instead of 4? Well, I paid 5 pence too, sir. And I just told you that I did. A flat fare of 5 pence across the board. It's not something to be proud of. I mean, I charge my subs $20 a month, so when they're supposed to pay 5, I make them pay 6, up to 20. Flat fare across the board, not here. The so-called discrepancy my learned friend identified was nothing of the sort. Much like the phantom killer you so desperately needed, it's gone, dead and buried. I'd have been happy if it had ever existed in the first place. He fiddled us on the fare, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much. Too much. This blood-curdling sight? You mean the murder, I presume? Yes, sir. A loathsome sight. No one should have to witness the horror in the eyes of a man the moment his life is taken. Someone arrest this villainous sloth? Villainous? I'm downright evil. Oh, well, not exactly, sir. I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the gent was stabbed. Then what the flip are you doing here? Good gracious, really? We have another witness who did it, however. The banker has already testified to it. But Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. That may turn out to be very significant. I heard the banker gent next to me take a sharp turn and take a breath. That's when I looked through the glass. That's when I saw that horrible blade poking out from his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see a knife now, I can't help screaming, even when I'm eating. Imagine I can present a knife right now, like, alright, so have you seen this knife? And then he just has a heart attack. I tell you, I saw him gilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Alright, Wario. Waluigi. It's Waluigi. He's got the W stash. It's freaking Waluigi. So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGilded, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him. That's what I said, isn't it? It was bothering me before this was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question. Anyway, there was only the two of them inside the carriage, wasn't there? There's been much talk of a fifth passenger, but as yet, zero evidence. Then what are we wasting all this time for, eh? It's black and white, the man's guilty. I stare. Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was. Should we go back to it then? Let's go back there again. I tell you, I saw McGilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Something jars with me on that. He saw him stabbing the man. But do I have something that can actually... actually saw him stabbing that man. Bloodstain, no, not that. The thing is, if you were looking down, you would see it. And on the omnibus, it's like, depending on where you're sitting. Wait. So were they both sitting on the same seat, or were they sitting on separate seats? I don't know. I feel like I want to present the carriage because I don't know if they were sitting together or separately. I don't know if that... Let's look inside. All right. I'll take a. Let's go inside again. It's like I'm playing Resident Evil or something. So let's see. If they were looking inside, the only one would be looking. Wait, so the only person who... So... Yeah, didn't the hat guy just said, I look down and I see the body, but if he were looking back, his view will be over here. His view will be entirely different if he were sitting in the front seat, right? Unless I'm missing something. Let's look in that drawer. Didn't we already look inside? Huh, this seat looks reasonably soft, but it's rather hard when you sit on it, and only just wide enough for two gentlemen to sit side by side, really. Of course, an English gentlewoman would be dressed in such finery. It would be quite impossible for her to climb up to the roof deck, so I guess I didn't examine the seat. I examined the drawer. I know about the thing that opens up, yes. That's what I want to see. Let's look in there. Was something... Let's look in the drawer, but I don't see anything out of this empty space. Blankets, horseshoeing tools, storage compartment, any space. Anything that's supposed to be out of the ordinary for me? Because I see nothing out of the ordinary, in my opinion. Was there supposed to be something else? I mean, unless you're talking about the shadow cast. What am I? The skylight? What does the drawer have to do with the skylight? I see nothing about the skylight. That seems really odd. It's quite a large skylight. There doesn't appear to be the handle or some catch, but it can be opened from the inside at least. What are we doing? Right now, just trying to figure out. Never hurts to be thorough. I mean, I did check everything, so I don't... Huh, so he saw McGilded stabbing that man. Everything he said standing before fits. So it's like, he says there's jars with him, but I'm trying to figure out what jars with him about it. There's something I gotta present, but I don't know what. But you know what? I'm gonna go press Beppo on this real quick. Earlier, you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you?
Oh, yes, that's right.
You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in an ice pick grip.
I suppose I might have, yes, put the cart before the horse, maybe.
What's this?
Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horses when I heard a scream from the seats of the roof deck.
Oh, I expect that was me, sir.
Then when I turned around, yes, I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor and the knife was sticking up out of his midriff.
Wait. But from his view, he wouldn't have seen it.
That's right, yes, and the fellow holding the handle was the famous man, yes.
So in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all.
I really thought I did, but when I go over it again in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing, did it?
Oh?
Excuse me.
Excuse me for a second, you seem a bit chewy. Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay? Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. He didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Huh? Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new info from him if I answer him cleverly. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? Some days are like that. No chance. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through a skylight on the top of an omnibus, that is. Peeping? I'm a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember it as clear as a Ballarat day. What the flip are these words? What's a Ballarat? It's new words with Pixel. A Ballarat day. The Ballarat, Australia or Ballarat, California? Ballarat records 2 new COVID cases. That's. But I want to know what the Ballarat day. Clear as a Ballarat day. What does that mean? It's just a city. It's really just a city. So they're having a city day. I don't know. Let's continue on anyway. It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, excuse me if I was getting a little hot under the collar there, my lord. I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what you saw. Oh, I can do that all right. I'll tell you just how grim it was. Ah, there we go. Do you think I forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after that butcher stabbed the man? Blood-soaked hands? What do you mean blood-soaked hands? We got gloves. Blood-soaked hands? Well, I admit that soaked might be laying it on a little thick, but anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilded, on the night in question. Oh, yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain there, but as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove. Oh. Tasty. In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. Ugh. But no, that can't be right.
So you're the liar here, Dan.
Tasty, isn't it?
That's right, you were quite clear about it. You said,
it was in both hands. That must be one tasty cane. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, it calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth? Well...
Objection!
It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Yes, it was in both hands, it was only one, but the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused.
Objection!
Nope. Mr. Fairplay categorically stated he saw blood all over both hands, which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Why? I'm a city banker for pretty slow. My word should be the gold standard. I'm a gentleman, not some gutter snipe. Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate. He's claiming to have no reason to lie, but is that really the case? Mr. Naruhodo, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, it could turn the tide in this trial completely. Something to show this man has a compelling reason to lie in his testimony. Do I really have evidence in that? Because I really don't know at this point. Let's see. He has a reason to lie in his testimony. Because it's like, if I say no, that could actually hurt me. Does he have a reason to lie? Something to show... Oh, wait, I didn't check the... Oh, I thought the ledger was like a... Oh, I didn't know I can actually examine the ledger. My mistake. The one thing I didn't check. This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets in London's gentry. Oh dear. I mean, I played like 4 Phoenix Wright games. How did I forget to examine the freaking ledger? It just slipped my mind. Oh dear, do you really think we ought to look inside? Well, it's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. Actually, I wonder. I assure you we will not find Mr. Sholmes' name inside. Imagine, we just find Herlock Sholmes' name in the ledger. And I can't read a thing. Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it? Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off. Ah, goodness! What is it? Look at this. Do you see the name here? Bruce Fair. Should that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually. Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying at this very moment. Oh, yes. The banker. Why is his name in here? He borrowed 20 guineas, didn't he? And look, the repayment date is fast approaching. It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course, but this could be very useful info. Ah. So the one thing I forgot to check. Dude, that was my mistake, chat. That was my mistake. Oopsie. I have evidence. My lord. Yes, counsel. So of course he wanted the guy arrested so he doesn't have to pay back his 20 guineas. The defense is ready to present evidence. By Jove, are you sure? This could be very useful info. Blackmail. She means blackmail. Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had reason to lie in his testimony. Tasty stick. Tasty cane. Very well, I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court.
Take that!
This is a list of the debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded. Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accuser's extortion. The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused?
No, well, it's barely worthy of being called a debt.
According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? Well, what of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGilded were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case? These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor, the defendant here, to be sentenced to a capital punishment, all outstanding debts which were owed to him will be annulled. They would cease to exist.
Cease to exist?
So this is how you do it. If you want to get rid of student loan, make sure they're found guilty and all your debt will be gone. I just found a way to completely get rid of student debt. I need Phoenix right. Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant? That must be one tasty cane. I want to know what it tastes like. Or darn, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. Yes, my lord. Let me ask you again. And be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you or did you not see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim? Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony. Alright, now let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch. A pinch? But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on McGilded's hands. Both of them.
Objection!
And yet only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. So you keep saying... I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir. Go ahead, Mr. First. Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself as it happened. Seeing what? The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes. I'm almost sure that it was on both of his hands, not just one. What? Ouch, my back. It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yes. Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. Yes. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. Holy heck. And no point of a break anytime soon. Where the heck's the to be continued? This goes on way crazy. Let's go. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired. If that matters. It does. I remember seeing the knife and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself, no. Not until I heard that scream. Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we would all have seen. Well, lo and behold. In truth of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside the carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. That? Really not what testimony is about, but okay. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's accounts. In other words, there was no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case. Very well, your cross-examination, please, counsel. Yes, my lord. Yes, mi lord. Yes, my lord. My lord, my lord. Thank you, my lord. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. No, the evidence tells us otherwise. We have the gloves the defendant was wearing on the night in question of the court record, I'm well aware of that, sir, but nevertheless, I know what I saw and I stand by it. The man had blood on both his hands. He's defiant even in the face of hard evidence. He's steadfastly refusing to admit that he might be mistaken about what he saw, but why? Your reasoning is dire. One hand or two, the salient point remains unchanged. Minutes after the grim crime, the victim's blood dripped guiltily from the accuser's fingers. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters. Don't try to downplay this. Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime is a matter of fundamental importance, as well you know. But for crying out loud, we all know that no one else could possibly have done it. I was just trying to save us all some time. And your debt. Mostly your debt. You have a loan of 20 guineas outstanding with the defendant, do you not? Had you hoped to release yourself from that financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty? Well, that's not entirely not what I was hoping for. I just lost a little guinea or 10 when I backed the wrong horse in the derby, that's all. I was gonna win it all back. There's a fixture this weekend, that's a sure thing. A little guinea or 10. I'm a banker, no one bats an eye if I borrow a little spending money for the weekend. I think you may have revealed rather more about your character than you bargained for, sir. He's like me, a gambler? I don't know if you're complimenting or insulting me, Savvy. So I'll just say this. That's all I'll say. This witness's scruples are not on trial here. Proceed to the next witness. Is that really how it's supposed to work? I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them. You definitely saw that too? Blood on both hands?
Yes, sir. I mean, I know what you're gonna say. Only one of Mr. McGilded's gloves has any sign of blood on it.
That's right.
The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGilded sitting beside the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir.
He wasn't wearing these gloves?
That's correct, sir. And I saw the blood on both his bare hands quite clearly.
It's true that the dark-colored stain on the dark leather gloves wouldn't have been easy to see. I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGilded's gloved hands. There wasn't blood on his hands? This is puzzling indeed. This must be significant somehow, I'm sure of it. There was no blood on his hands, on the gloves I mean. I didn't actually see anything myself, not until I heard that scream. You didn't see anything?
Oh yes, sir, that is to say, no sir, I didn't. Very sorry about what I said before, sir, very sorry, yes.
It was very wrong of me to make up stories and say I saw him have the man. Would you agree, sir? I know what you're insinuating, but I certainly wasn't making up stories. Still, to say you saw nothing isn't right either, is it? No, sir, I saw nothing at all. Mr. Beppo, you were driving your horses. At the very least, you must have enjoyed a good view of London streets, no? Oh, please, you didn't even see that? It was so cold that night, you see. It was all I could do to keep from passing out, sir. Yes, my head was fairly frozen solid. Sorry to say, sir. It would seem prudent to avoid travel on the last omnibus service on London's cold winter nights. Yeah, imagine just riding like an omnibus, and then all of a sudden your driver was freezing and he just froze, like he just knocked himself out from the cold, and then runaway horse. Beppo! Beppo! Anyway, the fact remains, there cannot have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we all would have seen. And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus. That's right, it was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over. Oh yes, I remember I was shivering, it was so bitter. Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh, wait, why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. It was locked? This is new. That's right, and it's a public bus service for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play. Or my name isn't fair play. It's unfair play. Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gen inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up to the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below. Well, I can assure you I wasn't looking down. I was glaring long and hard. And that's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else at all in that cabin, I would have noticed. Unequivocal, I would say. I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they have really seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? They might not have been able to. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting, it's in the freaking court. You were riding this omnibus and witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight in the floor of the upper deck, is that right? That's right, yes. In that case, there is a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you. What? By golly, really? Obviously at this stage we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied that at the time of the incident there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Objection!
Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here in the flesh. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demands. You will identify the area on this cross-sectional plan of the omnibus. Where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting that this potential extra passenger could have been situated? Oh goodness, I think I might know where, but I'm gonna save just in case because I really don't want to make that mistake if I do make a mistake because I really don't want to make a mistake. No. Because the thing is, so if I'm gonna look there, I'm gonna go to the cart and look inside one more time. So while they want me to look at a drawing, I'm gonna look at the actual cart. So I'm gonna point out here. I'm gonna point out this seat right here, like the under part of it. Apparently my body did not like that. What the heck? Wow. I'm gonna say inside the seat right here. Both rows of seat on the roof face in the direction of travel. Whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other. Which means the visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight, is as I've drawn here. Ah, that's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite the one on which the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it. So I somehow got it right, but clearly I had a different idea. It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. Ambiguity. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Ambiguity. I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude. Can you, Mr. Naruho, though? I honestly don't know. Who could have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? That I don't know. Was there anybody else? I'm gonna look again. Because the thing is, he was dead, Beppo was driving, these two were just sitting there. So, if it's just these two, I really have no idea. Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? What happens if I choose? I have no idea, because I can't think of one. Oh, I have literally no idea. But as a proud citizen of the Japanese Empire, you will look to the sky and walk on, making sure all signs of tears are gone. Go on. This isn't just a case of going on, Miss Usato. Alright, then I'll go on. The defense would like to put forward a name. I guess I gotta figure it out. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to hard lessons not yet learnt. Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat. Huh. This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view was... Who could it be? Obscured from view. Who could it be, though? Because if these two were up... So I'm just gonna cross these out, so... Magnus? Could it be Magnus? How could it be Magnus, though? Were they not? Because from the testimonies, it seems like they were sitting next to each other, not across from each other. Mason could have been seen. Okay, so they saw. Okay. So when they. Okay. So let me look at this right and then see if you agree with me, Chad. So everybody did say that when they looked down, they saw the knife sticking out from the body. They saw the dead body. They only mentioned Mason. They didn't mention Magnus McGilded at all, which could mean that he was the one on the other side. They only mentioned Mason the whole time, saying we saw the victim, we saw him bleeding, we saw him that. So basically that's what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna say Magnus. The passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witnesses on the roof deck failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilded. McDonald's? What are you talking about, counsel? That is the name of the defendant.
Objection!
What? What? Did he just freaking throw it perfectly on the freaking lamp? Oh my goodness. If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks. People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own, but I see they use the terms ill-advisedly. And another one bites the glass. What are you trying to say? Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. Wow. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. A lot of whine. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. Is the very premise on which this case is built.
Objection!
But that premise may be wrong. So basically, he is basically an alcoholic Godot, is what you're trying to say. He is basically he's dark Edgeworth with a drinking addiction, with a wine addiction like Godot. But replace the coffee with wine, you know what I mean. If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way. What inconsistency, counsel? The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains.
Objection!
The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged. Exactly, they both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands, both of them.
Objection!
And who was this third party? Obviously, the true culprit. Extraordinary. And here's where things start flipping around. Nice job, Naruhodo-san. Order. What exactly are you postulating? Order.
Objection!
The defense's postulation is just that, nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Objection!
But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes. The tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them though. Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir. And what particular styles of hat did the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First? I'm afraid I don't remember. And you call yourself a hatter? Exactly, right? The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be so sure? Because if there had been, the accused Mr. McGilded would undoubtedly have offered to dispose the fact. Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation? That the accused failed even to notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled? Ugh. So what is going on? I gotta find out. He's right, you know. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it. But didn't he say he fell asleep? There was clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused Mr. McGilded to the stand. Well, what say you, counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As a suspect, he will have already made a full statement to the police. But what if there was some reason why he's unable to speak freely? Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion? My lord, should we ask Mr. McGilded to testify or not? I think pretty much we have to demand his testimony. We gotta find out the truth, right? We need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. Exactly. Always find out the truth. The defense would like to call Mr. McGilded to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Yes, I need a little time to consider this. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilded has to say. Get the man out here, I say, so I can stab him. Shing! It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony. When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild. Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say. Oh yes, that would be lovely. Yes, the jury says the man must be heard. Yes. What a follower. Very well, the court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once. Are we gonna have it to be continued or not? Holy flip. Now maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. Holy flip. Oh my goodness, I can't continue on. I do not want to kill my voice tonight. There was no to be continued at this point, so I'm gonna stop here for tonight. Holy flip. But before we end the stream, chat, I do want to say one thing. So let's get to this though. I do want to talk about one thing before we end for the night. So I hope you all enjoyed the stream, everybody. Thank you all for coming to tonight's stream. But before we end, I just want to let you know that next week's schedule is going to be a bit different. I will be away from next Friday to Sunday. So I'm thinking that my streams may be a little different. So instead of streaming once on Wednesday and that's it, I might do Tuesday and Wednesday or Wednesday and Thursday. Oh goodness. The problem, the game has no to be continued. The solution, open up the menu, click save, and make the to be continued ourselves. Also, I just don't want to kill my voice from all the voice acting I've done tonight. So, I will continue the Great Ace Attorney next week. Keep a lookout on my Discord, my Twitter, and the Twitch page, starting on Monday for the new schedule. But I gotta stop here because I do not want to kill my voice. If I kill my voice, then I can't record. So, we will find out what happens. I will stream Great Ace Attorney again this week. Yeah, this week. Yeah. But of course, thank you for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed yourselves, and I will catch you next time. Until then, adios.